It's funny how the human brain works, to me at least, because we go on and on about being the only species that uses critical thinking, but we don't exactly do that. Instead, we tend to believe what we see, and it's only normal to do so. Seeing is believing. For example, if I was to stand here all day and try to convince you that the sky is green, you won't believe me. I can provide scientific evidence, you won't believe me. You've seen it for yourself and you can tell for a fact that the sky is not green. So today, instead of convincing you with something that you can see, because these things are very straightforward, instead, I'll convince you with something even more bizarre that by the end of the speech, you won't mind believing that the sky is green. Who here is human? Up, hands, let's go. That's pretty much everyone. Well, I hate to break it to you, but if you're human, you're going to die. Sooner or later, of course. It is inevitable after all. Or is it? Now, before you roll your eyes and think, she cannot possibly be serious, I am. But here's the thing. While I could be wrong, in the slight chance that I am correct, I'll be giving you the key to immortality. Go ahead, I guess. Immortality. Such a deep topic. When approaching a topic this broad, it's better to go to the basics. So what is immortality? After an intensive research I made on Google, I was able to find out that immortality is the ability to live on forever. And that's like a really long time. So is it even possible? Science says yes, or rather, maybe. With the current advancements in the technological and medical field, being immortal doesn't sound fictitious any longer. But we're trying to achieve here biological immortality. And keep in mind the word biological. Toritopsis dohrnii. No, that isn't the name of a dinosaur. It is the name of a jellyfish. One that didn't go extinct because of a comet, but actually managed to gain biological immortality. So how exactly did an animal this small, it's actually 4.5 millimeters, so this small, how did an animal this small achieve immortality? The life cycle of a Toritopsis dohrnii is not that different from any other jellyfish. It starts off as an egg that turns into a larva that transforms into a polyp that further matures into a medusa, or what we call an adult jellyfish. Now, while usual jellyfish will continue their lifespan from here, grow up, get married, have kids, die, the Toritopsis dohrnii will do things a little differently. Whenever a Toritopsis dohrnii is degenerating or facing any harm in life, it will simply return to its polyp, regenerate, and branch off again as a brand new medusa. Now, this process can repeat on and on, making this jellyfish practically immortal. Now, of course, scientists didn't like the fact that an animal was able to achieve immortality before them. So other than driving them into extinction, typical human things, they decided to imitate it. Have you ever heard of nanotechnology? Amazing. Well, as the name suggests, nanotechnology is minute technology that is meant to imitate the functions of a stem cell. In other words, nanotechnology are transplanted living robot stem cells. Now, what are stem cells? Well, as the name suggests, again, stem cells are the cells from which all cells stems. They are the origin cells. Under the right condition, they can turn into any cell required by our bodies. And they also have the ability to regenerate. So what does nanotechnology exactly do? As you said, it imitates this process. It is infused into our bloodstream, and it will repair every damaged cell and renew it and regenerate it. Practically the same effect as stem cells, and also practically giving you biological immortality. Now, the price on this technology hasn't been set yet, but I can guarantee you it's going to be expensive. Don't worry, it's easy. Take a long-term loan. However, this time, it can be a long-term loan. Since you're practically going to be immortal, yes. But here's the thing. It does give you the ability to regenerate, but like the Toritopsis doryni, it cannot defy circumstances. So let's say a Toritopsis doryni was to get eaten by a shark. There's nothing much that regeneration can do for it. Same for you. If you were to get into a car accident, God forbid, and get fatally injured, there's not much that nanotechnology can do for you either. Now you're not only dead, but you're also in debt. You might have started to accept your fate by now. There's truly no other way around it. But here's the thing. I'm not done yet. The problem with everything said so far is that it focused on biological immortality. Biological immortality. Now here's the issue with biological immortality. It's limited. As humans, we tend to limit ourselves. And sometimes it's in a good way. For example, not texting while driving is a good way of limiting yourself so you don't get into a car accident. But we also tend to limit our thinking. Are we as bound to our physical bodies as we think we are? Let's put this in another way. Let's say a witch appeared here, probably tempted by all of our talk about immortality. And she decided to cast a spell on you. She says, dibbidi-dabbidi-doo, your arms are mine, your legs are too. Boom, your limbs are gone. You practically lost half your body, more than half for those with long legs. Are you still you? The answer is yes, because you'll react to losing your limbs the same way you think you're going to react right now. So if you ever thought that your existence was indefinitely coordinated to the physical body you have, this witch taught you otherwise. Oh my God, where are my manners? I didn't introduce myself. Let me do that real quick, then we can get it out of the way. Hello, everyone. I'm Sara Bazama, a professional overthinking 17-year-old, and I have curly hair. Not that any of you would know. Where were we again? Yeah. The part where I was finally sounding smart. If our bodies don't define us, then what does? Supposedly, these labels define me. Yes, I am Sara. But I'm pretty sure that everyone here has been acquainted by at least 1, 2, or 3 Saras in their lifetime. I am 17, but when July rolls around, I'll no longer be 17. I am an overthinker. I'm hoping therapy can fix that. And most importantly, and what's the weirdest of all, is that as I am speaking to you right now, my hair is straightened. So if these things don't define me, what does? Let's look at it in another way. Do any of you know who this old lady is? You guessed right. I guess someone did know her. This is Jeanne Calment. She is indeed the oldest woman to have lived ever. The oldest woman and man, I guess. But she is the longest living human. She lived for 122 years, 164 days. That's a really long time. Can you imagine living that long? Great. Well, that is cool. It is actually very cool, but that's all we know about her. Did you know Shakespeare wore gold-hooped earrings? Actually, some people say it's on his left, some people say it's on his right. I personally believe he wore it on both. I wonder what kind of earrings did Miss Calment wear? It's quite upsetting. She is the longest living human, yet that's all we know about her. Meanwhile, Shakespeare, who died at 52, making him less than half her age, has a lot to be said about him. An entire debate over whether he wore an earring or not, even. Why is it that we don't have the exact same thing about Jean Calment? Why is it that we discuss Shakespeare as if he's alive with us today? What is it about him? It's simple. He created a legacy for himself. A legacy that defied time and circumstances, something that nanotechnology couldn't do. And it will continue to defy time every single moment we discuss him. Albert Einstein, Edgar Allan Poe, Michael Jackson, all those people who we immediately recognize the moment we hear their names, they made it this far because they created a legacy that carried them this far. Their actions created a legacy that continued. Their actions created a legacy that continued to pass through our time because they were worth hearing of, worth writing about, worth talking about. So what defines us? Our actions. What we choose to do and how we choose to do it, because that's unique to us and us only. Go ahead, publish the draft you've been holding back. Finish the painting you started. Sing the song that you wrote. Create a legacy in each and every field you choose to pursue. This might not have been the most well-presented speech. I strayed off topic and joked around a lot. But today, I presented myself to you guys. I allowed the true me to linger in each and every word that I chose to speak today, so that by the end of the day, you know me as more than just a speaker who goes by the name of Sara. Today, I took action, although relatively small. But I gave the world something to remember me by, something for them to talk about. And I will continue to do so every time I'm handed an opportunity and every time I create an opportunity for myself. To finish this off, I'd like to quote a person who summed it up in a way better than I ever could. There is no immortality but the memory that is left in the mind of man. To have lived without glory, without leaving a trace of one's existence, is to not have lived at all. Thank you, and may your legacy outlive you.